Greetings from Movie Channel once again. I'm going to show you a 2016 zombie horror movie called Train to Busan today. Warning, this contains spoilers. Be cautious and mindful. A truck pulls up to a quarantine area, and staff members who disinfect the car. One of them answers that there was a small leak when the driver asks what's going on in the biotech district, but that no significant issues should arise. The driver keeps going, and as he goes to answer his ringing phone, he runs into something while driving. When he exits the truck and realizes it's a sweetheart, he discovers that his car has not. He drops it on the street. The animal regains consciousness. While at work, Suk-woo is on the phone with a client, discussing the sale of specific stocks. He browses a news website that reports on the fish in a reservoir that seem to be dying mysteriously. As his helper enters, he is instructed to sell all of that company's stock by Suk-woo. Later, he parks his car and gets into a phone argument with his ex-wife about his kid, Suin. On her birthday the next day, the child wants to see her mother, but he won't let her on her own. When he gets home, his mother welcomes him inside. As he enters the girl's room, he hears her on the phone with her mother, saying that she can go alone by train. She hangs up after hearing him. Sitting next to Suin, Suk-woo requests that she wait a week once he has less work so that he can transport her to Busan. He delivers her birthday gift ahead of schedule. When she opens it, she discovers that she already possesses the item he had previously purchased for her. When he asks what else she would like, she replies that she wants to see her mother. In order to save him time, Suin says she would travel alone. Suk-woo discusses the girl with his mother. When he does travel to Busan, she advises him to have a heart-to-heart with his wife. He informs her that he is in a critical phase at work, but his mother claims that it's a important time in Suin's life as well, and then gives him a recording-equipped camera of the girl he missed her recital. Suk-woo chooses to take her after seeing the video and seeing how much pain she is in. That's where he attempts to draw a lesson from the recital for Suin while they are talking about it in the car. He nearly runs over an ambulance while driving. They come to a standstill and observe a whole cordon pass past. Abruptly, the girl sees soot dropping from the sky and a fire visible in the distance. The vehicle's reflection. The train to Busan is pulling into the station, ready to go. The attendants are getting ready as the conductor enters his cabin. When a baseball team's coach signals for everyone to sit down, one of their cheerleaders is seen in and give a cheer. Just before Suk-woo and his daughter board the train, In-gil offers Jong-gil a boiled egg. He informs his employer over the phone that he will return before noon. Just as the train departs, a wounded girl rushes inside. Suin witnesses a man assault a station employee as it leaves. There's a bite mark on the girl's leg who got into the train. One of the attendants is informed by Yeon-suk that a strange man has jumped the train and has been in the restroom for some time. Out of curiosity, Suin goes to investigate. The attendant doesn't comprehend what the man is talking about when he says that everyone is dead. He attempts to persuade him to leave the restroom with good intentions. The girl who has been bitten passes out on the train and appears to go unnoticed. When Suin tries to use the restroom, Sang-hwa, who is watching the door, stops her. His wife and instructs her to board the next vehicle to another one. When the female attendant notices the bitten girl convulsing, she calls for emergency help right away. Support. When Suk-woo discovers that Suin is missing, his phone wakes him up. He is informed by his assistant that there is a nationwide event. After hanging up, he heads out to find the girl. The car's occupants observe the unfolding pandemonium on television. The attendant repeatedly addresses her as chief, and the bitten girl gets up, completely transformed into a zombie. When she doesn't answer, her chief rushes toward the automobile, and Suin goes inside a restroom. As they enter a car, the girl begins biting the attendant on her back, startling the others. Next, the baseball team is attacked, and then the attendant. Everything becomes crazy. The next car's passengers are told to run by the chief attendant. As all is going on, Suk-woo searches for his daughter but discovers something before he does, occurring in the opposite vehicle. Suin is also aware of the screaming. The father observes the chief being attacked by the zombie attendant as others rush past them both, and the leader immediately pivots. As a mountain pursues them, Suin emerges behind her father, who snatches her and flees. Of undead all over the train. When Sang-hwa sees something, he advises his pregnant wife Song Kyung to hurry. In front of them, a zombie bites into a woman, and Song Kyung orders him to try to assist, but is assaulted. Sang-hwa locks the zombie in the bathroom while Suk-woo crashes into the following vehicle. As soon as the other zombies show up, he orders his wife to flee. While individuals from the other cars rush inside, the others are still glued to the TV, watching it all happen. Grabbing the door, Suk-woo shuts it in front of Song Kyung's face. After Sang-hwa defeats a zombie, they go into the vehicle and shut the door before the items are able to enter. When Suk-woo discovers that the zombies are unable to unlock the door, she instructs the man to give it up. Song Kyung closes the gap as he knows that they attacked as soon as they saw them. Calming the zombies down nicely. They won't be stopping in the next town, the conductor announces, so Yeon-suk asks him if he even knows what's going on in the train via an intercom. According to him, the control center issued the directive. Mom calls Suk-woo because she is concerned about them. She instructs him to look after his daughter. While talking to him on the phone, the woman turns. Even though Suk-woo knows what has happened, she keeps Suin in the dark. People from the station they are passing start to beat on the windows as the train slows down, pleading for assistance as zombies assault and consume them. A government representative notifies the populace in a public statement that violent riots have broken out in numerous large cities, leaving a large number of people dead. Many important districts have been shut down by the government. As they browse social media, the passengers on the train witness footage of assaults. The broadcast keeps going, alerting the populace of the declaration of a state of emergency. The authority advises the public to be calm and at home and not to believe bogus news. While cities burn, he reassures the populace that their safety is unaffected. The train's occupants have blocked off the door and are heading in the other direction. When Suin informs her father that her mother's phone is broken, he takes her aside and try making a call. The girl gives In-gil her own seat after In-gil forces Jong-gil to occupy the seat next to them. Sang-hwa is still upset because he closed the doors as he sees the father and child approaching. Earlier, in their face, the girl receives criticism from Suk-woo for her altruism, telling her that she must take care of. In moments such as this, she puts herself first. The conductor makes another announcement informing them that they will be stopping at a station, where their train is being secured by the military. Suk-woo hears Yeon-suk inquiring over the phone about the cities that can be entered and the one they will be visiting doesn't appear to be on the list. Telling his daughter to stay still, he heads to the other car to get on the phone. When the girl reveals to Sang-hwa that her father manages funds, he asks her about him. He remarks that this indicates he is a bloodsucker. The child accepts, and his wife offers her some sweets in an attempt to brighten the moon. She then instructs her to touch her tummy and say hi to her child. Suin experiences a kick. Suk-woo gives a client he believes can help a call. When he inquires about the city they would be stopping at, the man informs Suk-woo that when they will be placed under quarantine. He'll do him a favor when Suk-woo informs him that his daughter is with him. Assisting them, the man advises going to the east square rather than the main one. He'll inform his men. Suk-woo notices the man without a house in the car. Later, the train reaches the city where the armed forces ought to be waiting, but nobody is there. Yeon-suk makes his escape first, and everyone else, including Suk-woo and his girl. The kids who are left on the baseball team get off the train with baseball bats. When Yeon-suk meets the conductor, one of the attendants leads him to view the zombie vehicle. And informs them that one of the few remaining open cities is Busan. He tries to uncouple the undead car with the conductor, but it is impossible. Although the conductor acknowledges that they ought to travel straight to Busan, he wishes to return the travelers to board the train initially. Passengers are entering the vacant station in the meantime. In order to get to the East Square, Suk-woo and Suin pass through a restricted area. The destitute man decides to accompany them after hearing their cry. When Suin's father forbids her from telling the others, she becomes depressed. While the other passengers descend the escalator, Sang-hwa observes an unusual sight. Concerning the station. At the end of the corridor where Suk-woo and Suin are, a man simultaneously appears. The homeless man chases after him as he stands. Suin is told to stay there by Suk-woo, who then pursues them. Upon reaching the bottom of the escalator, the travelers discover that the military be transformed entirely into undead. The passengers are attacked by the horde. In order to escape, Sang-hwa gets his wife to climb the stairs as soon as he realizes what is happening. Suk-woo receives a call from a client stating that he is unable to get through to his men due to a zombie. Emerges in the corridor behind the policeman and assaults him. As additional zombies emerge and consume the officer, the homeless man stumbles. Sang-hwa protects Soo-in from almost being eaten when Suk-woo rushes back to her. After seizing her, Song Kyung and she flee together. The baseball team stands at the door, waiting for them, and shuts it behind them. As the homeless man helps Suk-woo drive the zombie off of him, he flees in the direction of the door. As soon as Sang-hwa notices him, she opens it and holds it open for Suk-woo. In an attempt to lock the door, they all shove it shut simultaneously. As Song Kyung approaches the train, she notices that a few of the riders are being destroyed by the swarm of trains. Passengers board the train from the opposite side as they continue to dash down the steps. Abruptly, the throng of people at the station crashes through the windows and onto the train. Luckily, Jong-gil is not hurt when a zombie trips over her since it is too damaged to reach her. The other sister is taken in the opposite way by Song Kyung and Soo-in, while the zombie chases after them. The cheerleader and an attendant save Jong-gil. They board the train precisely on schedule. The pregnant mother, the other sister, and the girl board another vehicle and release the destitute. Before the zombies reach him, the man is inside. When the train is surrounded by zombies, Yeon-suk orders the attendant to leave if their goal is to live. Because her pals are still out there, the cheerleader claims they can't, but the attendant gives the conductor a call and requests that he leave. Sang-hwa, in the meantime, eventually locks the door. Just as the men are fleeing, the throng bursts through the glass. They notice the train is moving quickly, but as they approach the bottom of the steps, the undead take down two of the baseball guys. The final one freezes, but Suk-woo quickly gets him moving again and inside the train. Suk-woo reaches out to Sang-hwa as he trails behind, but the man takes up a baton instead. His shield, protecting him instead from approaching undead. Eventually, he too boards the train. In the interim, the conductor makes a call to the control center to inquire about an available way to Busan. It is suggested that he go on there, but he requests to be notified as soon as someone gets in touch with the radio station. The group, including Song Kyung, is wedged between two zombie cars. When she spots an available bathroom, she invites the others to join her. As soon as Song Kyung enters, a zombie assaults her. Everyone has now entered. The other zombies chase them, barely managing to keep the door closed. Some individuals are covering the glass doors inside the other section of the train when the conductor announces that they are traveling directly to Busan. When the final baseball player calls the cheerleader, he apologizes because nobody else made it out alive. Suk-woo is speaking with his daughter at the same time when all of a sudden he hears Sang-hwa conversing with her over his phone. She informs him that they are stranded in Vehicle 13. They learn from the baseball player that the others are in Vehicle 15. The men get ready to save the other people. Sang-hwa arranges their tactics, placing the boy in the center, himself in the lead, and with Suk-woo at the rear. Till they cross the tunnel, they will wait. As soon as the three of them are noticed by the zombies, they start battling. Suk-woo supports Sang-hwa from his flank as he starts to kill zombies with just his bare hands. They battle as an unstoppable team, with the child using his bat as a weapon. The child freezes when he sees that the next car is full of undead baseball players. Pushing him aside, Sang-hwa engages the undead in combat. Suk-woo attempts to repel them after discovering one of their bats. With the baseball zombies, the two are at a standstill, and the boy is powerless. The zombies start acting abnormally as soon as they enter another tunnel. With the bat, Suk-woo creates a sound that the zombies follow, allowing them to flee. As they pass through the doors and the zombies appear, the train passes into the tunnel. Launch another assault. When Suk-woo decides to use their phones as ruses once, they take a break in between cars. The train travels via a tunnel. When the zombies are unable to see them, they get into the car in the dark, and Suk-woo tosses. Behind the wheel of the car is Sang-hwa's phone. The zombies follow his call, and they manage to flee without engaging in combat. When they arrive at the restroom, everyone is glad to see one another. When they get inside the tunnel, the baseball player discovers another restroom and grabs the others. Within. After calculating how long it will take them to reach the next tunnel, Suk-woo texts his girlfriend. In Vehicle 15, the cheerleader tells the group that she is glad he will make it to their car alive. Others. Naturally, Yeon-suk is not pleased with their arrival because they could be sick. It appears that the majority of people concur with him. She asks the attendant to assist her in explaining to the others, but he concurs with Yeon-suk. Furthermore, everyone exits the restrooms when the train enters a tunnel, however they now have to determine a way through the zombies. Everyone scuttles through the racks of luggage. The undead get down in the automobile while Suk-woo diverts their attention. Next, get into the next vehicle. When the vagrant trips and falls, Suk-woo rushes to his aid. When the train passes the tunnel, they both become stuck in the car. As they are about to run, Suk-woo counts down, but the homeless man trips over a soda can and draws attention. Zombies. Even if they manage to pass through the door, Sang-hwa is left holding it since a zombie gets buried themselves in it. That door is locked, so the baseball player contacts his girlfriend in the other vehicle. The occupants of automobile number 15 have shut the door from their end and are preventing the girl from telling that to them. Sang-hwa is trying to bust down the other door when Suk-woo comes over to help. Sang-hwa is abruptly bitten by a zombie. The baseball player tries to enter after they eventually crush the door of the other car. But the door is held by Yeon-suk. Jong-gil and the cheerleader are fighting the other men from the inside as they attempt to assist him. As Song Kyung approaches her spouse, he warns her to keep away and then says Suk-woo should take her and go, as he's growing weary. When Sang-hwa asks him to look after her, Suk-woo apologizes. The door suddenly shatters, forcing the two to go. Sang-hwa stays ahead of the zombies and doesn't give up easily. The others let themselves in and open the door. Suk-woo rushes to In-gil, but not before grabbing his daughter and Song Kyung. He slams the door and accuses Yeon-suk of being a bastard right away. The attendant urges them to step into the vestibule, according to Yeon-suk, who claims that Suk-woo is contaminated. All of the occupants in car number 15 order them out. First up is the man who is homeless. The baseball player goes with the cheerleader since she doesn't want to stay with them. Suk-woo goes after Song Kyung, who tells Suwon that they should depart as well. Inside the vestibule, the others enclose them. Before anyone else can, Jong-gil opens the door after spotting her undead sister on the other side. Can put an end to her. The undead storm in on the occupants of car 15. The conductor rings in to inquire about the circumstances in Busan in the interim. When he doesn't hear back, he notices that the city is on fire. At last, Suk-woo speaks with his daughter. On her birthday, he promises to take her to see her mother. Subsequently, his assistant calls Suk-woo to inform him that Busan has the strongest defense among all the cities. He also informs him that one of their companies was the source of the malware. Due to a blockage, the train abruptly breaks. The conductor announces that he will locate another train to pick up the remaining passengers to Busan. The attendant and Yeon-suk are both alive after the zombie attack. When the conductor notices that the first train he encounters is full of zombies, he decides to check it out. To locate an alternative, they must relocate and find a method to get to Busan, Suk-woo informs the others. The conductor continues searching for another train in the interim. He moves the empty one he finds. The attendant and Yeon-suk are stranded in the restroom. In an attempt to get away, he orders the attendant to go first and shoves him into the undead. The survivors are separated when a burning automobile crashes into the trains where they are trapped. When the baseball player attempts to crack open the train, the cheerleader gets in it. Yeon-suk comes through the door, offering the girl as a sacrifice and leaving the baseball player to battle the undead. The boy dispatches the zombie after he manages to flee. The girl twists in his arms, biting him thereafter. Suwon awakens Suk-woo in the interim. Song Kyung and the vagrant get ensnared beneath a zombie vehicle. Yeon-suk flees from the conductor when he tries to assist him as he rushes toward the moving train. Likewise behind him. Even though the train car keeps crumbling, Suk-woo manages to escape. The distance closes as he turns to draw the others out. The homeless man tries to halt the zombies as they smash through the train car's windows, keeping them from reaching the girls. Once more, Suk-woo widens the opening, and the two depart, leaving the man behind. Song Kyung, Suk-woo, and the child flee the crowd and pursue the speeding train vehicle. The zombies from the station all rush the car and start stacking on top of one another. The undead board the train along with them. Sukwu tries, and eventually succeeds, to get them off of it while they're holding on tight. While searching for the conductor, the three of them discover a half-turned Yeon-suk inside the cabin. As an alternative, somehow, he opens the door. He is informed that Sukwu is infected, and after his turn is over, he starts to assault them. Song Kyung gets Sukwu off his back after he clashes with him. Yeon-suk is bit by the man after he grabs him. After securing himself with chains on the train, Sukwu throws the man off. When he turns around and discovers he's been bitten, he gets them both inside the cabin, and instructs them on the location of the brakes. Sukwu advises Suin to travel to Busan, where it is secure, and stay with Song Kyung. Before he can turn around and let go, he frees himself from the girl's grasp, walks out of the cottage, leaving her to cry and scream behind. He remembers the day Suin was born as he starts to transform into a zombie, then leaps off the railway carriage. A roadblock forces Song Kyung and Suin to stop and get off the train tracks. They keep going through the bodies and rubble on foot. A dim tunnel is entered by the two. Opposite the military is the military. They are in the sights of a sniper, but he cannot tell if they are infected. Just as an order to execute them is about to be given, Suin breaks into her performance song. The call that the survivors are near is made by the military.